Hi everyone, so today I brought you to my local church. Sorry for the traffic going by. I brought you to my local church so that we can talk a bit about some of the traditions here involving churches that exist in the northwest of England, what we would bracket under the Lancashire traditions of magic and folklore. So first I wanted to talk about gates, the actual entrance to the church. So if you're working magic here, the first thing that you have to do is come to the post that's on your right hand side, which for me is this one right here. And right at the very bottom you're going to leave an offering to the spirits, the local spirits. So here it is the Kirk Grim. So we speak a lot of Old Norse, Old English here in the northwest. So Kirk is just old for church, and the Grim are like the guardian spirits. So a Kirk Grim is just the guardian of the church. They're like black spectral dogs. If you think about sort of black spirit dogs in British folklore anywhere, I really hope you can hear this, then yeah, it's that type of thing, but they stay where the dead are buried. They're the guardians of the dead, and they give you access to the magic of the space. I'm not doing that today because today's just a walkthrough, but it's a lovely church, so let's go in, and I'm just going to show you some of the beautiful graves. It's a really beautiful church. This is my local church. One of my favourite graves is coming up right over here. These ones are all reversed, so I'll stick to this side. Yeah, one of my favourite ones is this one over here. Just because around the cross on it, I'm going to see if you can see, it says "The dead shall rise," and I just love that. It's got that sort of bit of a ominous tone to it, but I sort of like it. So once you're in the church, the first thing that you're going to want to do is, if you're working with the dead, then you're going to want to find a grave to work with. So I don't tend to do that an awful lot, but the way that we do it here is we don't take anything from the graves, we bring things to them to be empowered by the dead. So we just ask for their blessings onto things so that we can sort of make like a cooperation. And then behind the grave, so on the back of it, not where the writing is, that's where you would leave any offerings that you would give. So you would treat the back almost like an altar. You would leave the front so the dead can sort of be dignified and at rest. So another thing about churches in folklore traditionally is the north gate. The north gate is the very back of the church usually, because the altar is where the east would be. It's where all the priests are buried, which is why I'm going to take you this way so I can actually show you. We do have some priests buried here. The one who was the priest of my church, so I went to a Church of England church. It wasn't as religious, overly religious as it sounds. You know, you didn't have to be a Christian to go. But yeah, it was a great school, and the vicar was a lovely guy. He really was. I have a lot of fond memories. I feel like he's very much responsible for a lot of my love of spirituality generally. Let me zoom in. This is the east side, and this is the grave of who was the priest of the school that I went to. It's getting a little blurry. Let me just let me go in. There we go. And yeah, I'm very grateful for him because he was responsible for a lot of my love of spirituality just generally. So I mean, I'm always going to be grateful for that. So the east side is always where the altar is, the back is the north, and around the back is where, in a lot of folklore and in accounts, this is where initiations would take place for entry into the old religion. It's why the spaces are usually quite blocked off. Oh, it's got a lot of... Yeah, there's a bit of a building here. I'm going to see if the door's actually visible. Might have been boxed in. Oh no, it is here. Yeah, so it's a sort of a newer door. I say newer, you know what I mean. It's not the original, like, sort of old-fashioned wood doors that they have. You get a lot of cobwebs on these doors too. just because they never get used. They're normally sealed, but a lot of initiations would take place at that spot, and still do in some places, in the more rural places. I'm like a semi-rural place in Greater Manchester, where in the very rural places, that is actually where initiations into witchcraft would take place. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Why I'm here, I might actually film a little second video because something's popping into my head, and I don't want to mention it in this video because it's not really relevant. Well, it's not on what I'm exactly wanting to talk about. Churches are always seen as magical places because the grounds are consecrated, so they're always seen as having some type of innate, almost borderline animistic kind of quality, which gives them something, you know, I guess it's hard to say, like it's been imbued with some kind of divine power, and people didn't really care. You know, you actually see, you know, a lot of these buildings inside, a lot of like little things scratched into the brickwork, like incantations, people's names that they wanted hexing. You know, they would, you know, they'd go to great lengths to try and almost get some sort of magical association. Here in the northwest as well, we of course have Sheer Thursday, which is the day when people can go and try and steal the host from the mass. And then you feed it to the first animal that you encounter on the way out, and that is then a covenant with the old religion. So churches in the old religion, because of its assimilation to old spirituality, then it's sort of all woven in. People sort of reclaimed it back, which is really cool if you think about it. So I think some people are going to come in, so I'm just going to start talking about other stuff. So I'm going to go into the other video, but I might come and do a part 2 to this. So tell me what you want to know about churches, because churches have a lot about them for a small snippet of a video. I don't know if there's workers coming in, but if it is, it doesn't really matter. I'll just find out where they're working, and then I'll do the other video. On the way out, we tend to have this tradition of signing the cross 3 times. You imagine it as a golden light, and then you walk out. The golden light is for balance. It's within Kabbalah. It's used to represent the Sephirah of Tiferet, which is all about being in harmony with things. So the sort of harmonious quality means you're not going to take anything out with you. It isn't overly religious in that sense. It's just about a sign of a declaration that nothing can follow you or come with you. I'm trying to really get into some good shade here. This light's got terrible. It's a very warm day today. So yeah, I'm gonna just cut it there because it's I want to find out what these guys are doing. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.